Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at something many of us think we know well, rosé wine.
Right.
Most people picture summer, maybe poolside sipping, but there's so much more to it. We're going to explore its surprisingly deep history and maybe talk about this renaissance it's having.
That's exactly it. Our goal today is really to peel back some layers, challenge those easy assumptions about rosé.
Okay.
We want to uncover its, ancient roots, look at the incredible variety of styles out there, and figure out why it's suddenly become such a big deal globally. It's definitely not just pool wine anymore. It's a serious contender.
Let's start with that history then, because it is surprising. You'd think rosé is maybe, I don't know, a 20th century invention.
Not at all.
But what we now call rosé, or maybe clear wine back then, was actually the main type of wine thousands of years ago.
That's right. In antiquity, the winemaking techniques were, well, pretty basic compared to now. They just didn't have the methods for long skin contact that maceration needed for deep red wines.
So the default was lighter.
Pretty much. The Phoenicians, the Greeks, the Romans, as they spread vineyards across the Mediterranean, the wine they were making and drinking was this lighter, paler style.
Mm-hmm. So for centuries, making rosé wasn't really the main goal.
Often, no.
Yeah.
It was kind of incidental. Like the Saignée method, you still hear about bleeding off some juice from a red wine fermenter.
You can make the red wine stronger.
Exactly. So the rosé was, in a way, a secondary product. And as people started wanting those darker, more structured reds, rosé kind of got pushed aside, seen as, less prestigious.
And then fast forward to the 20th century and you get white Zinfandel.
Ah, yes. White Zins.
In the U.S., particularly in the 70s and 80s, that seemed to really cement a certain image for rosé, didn't it? Often sweet, maybe not top quality.
It absolutely did. White Zinfandel was massive, phenomenally popular. And while it brought loads of people into drinking wine, which is great, its sweetness and mass production kind of inadvertently painted all rosé with the same brush. It got stuck in that, casual, maybe even unsophisticated category for a lot of wine drinkers.
But that's changed dramatically.
Oh, completely. The 21st century has seen this incredible rosé renaissance. It's like a perfect storm of factors.
Like what?
Well, you've got this huge global demand for lighter, fresher wine styles in general. Then you have the massive influence of the Provence style, that pale, dry, elegant benchmark.
Right. Everyone wants that pale pink now.
Exactly. And crucially, producers worldwide started taking rosé seriously, investing in quality, focusing on making good rosé intentionally, not just as an afterthought. Provence really became the cradle of that modern style.
Okay, let's get into the grapes. This is where it gets really interesting for me. Does the type of red grape used make a huge difference in the final rosé?
Absolutely massive. It's like an artist's palette. Each red grape brings its own unique signature color, aroma, flavor, texture.
Give us some examples. What does, say, Grenache bring?
Okay, Grenache or Garnacha in Spain. It's often the base for Mediterranean rosés. Think medium body, lovely fresh red fruits, strawberry, raspberry, maybe some cherry, a little hint of white spice. It gives that elegant pale color often.
What about Sinsalt? You see that blended a lot, too.
Sinsalt adds lightness, real freshness. Delicate floral notes, too, like rose or violet, and subtle red fruits, maybe red currant. It's great for softening blends and adding perfume.
And if you want something with a bit more oomph,
Syrah.
Syrah or Shiraz, yeah. That can add structure, more body. You might get spicier notes, black pepper, maybe darker fruits like blackberry, even a smoky touch sometimes. Syrah rosés can be quite robust.
Interesting. What about Pinot Noir? That's usually associated with elegance in reds.
Same goes for its rosé. Pinot Noir rosés are typically delicate, pale salmon in color with vibrant acidity. You get subtle cherry, wild strawberry, maybe orange peel, watermelon, often an earthy mineral thing going on too. And surprisingly, some can age quite well.
Wow. Okay, keep going. Sangiovese from Italy. Good acidity there. Sour cherry notes, pomegranate, plum, sometimes a bit herbaceous like tomato leaf. Can be structured. Think Cerasuolo di Abruzzo, which is known for its intense cherry color, almost like a light red.
Tempranillo from Spain.
Vibrant colors usually. More red fruits, strawberry, raspberry again. Medium body, softer tannins, nice fresh finish. You find great ones in Navarra, Rioja too, where sometimes they even see a little oak.
Oak and rosé.
Yeah, it's not common, but some Spanish rosados, especially from Rioja, might have a touch, adding complexity.
Okay. Mourvedre. You mentioned Bandol earlier.
Right, Mourvedre or Monastrell in Spain. That's for your more serious, structured rosés. Darker fruit notes, spices like licorice, black pepper, a really distinct mineral or earthy quality.
Mm.
Bandol rosés are famous for this, and they definitely age well.
What about Carignan?
Carignan adds lovely acidity, freshness, really bright red fruits like raspberry red currant. Keeps things lively.
Zinfandel, can it be dry and good?
Absolutely. Forget the white Zin stereotype for a moment. Producers are making excellent dry Zinfandel rosés now notes of fresh watermelon, strawberry, citrus. Really refreshing.
It's amazing how much variety there is just from the grape choice. Malbec, Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yet Malbec rosés from Argentina, for instance,
Mm.
often have intense color, richer cherry and plum notes, maybe floral hints. Cabernet Sauvignon can make a more structured rosé, firmer acidity, notes of red currant, sometimes that characteristic green pepper hint.
And that's just the main international grapes.
Exactly. Then you have regional stars like Touriga Nacional in Portugal, bringing floral complexity. Maiga, also from Portugal, with vibrant acidity.
Mm-hmm.
Even hybrids in places like Brazil. It really depends on the grape's skin thickness, how much pigment it has that directly impacts the final color and even the aromas.
So grape choice is huge. But you mentioned earlier the winemaking technique is critical too, especially for color and style. How does that work? How much control do they have?
They have a lot of control. It really boils down to managing how long the grape skins are in contact with the juice. There are two main ways to do this.
Okay, what's the first?
The first is called direct press. This is often seen as the top method for getting those really high-quality, elegant, pale rosés.
Like the Provence style.
Exactly. You press the whole grapes relatively quickly and gently,
Hmm.
kind of like making white wine. Skin contact is minimal, maybe just minutes, maybe up to a few hours during the pressing itself.
And a result.
You get those very pale colors, think onion skin, peach, light salmon, and really delicate aromas. Fresh red fruits, citrus, floral notes, minerality. The big advantage is precise control over color and preserving that freshness and elegance.
Any downside?
Well, it uses more grapes specifically for rosé because you're not getting a concentrated red wine out of it as well, so it can be a bit more costly in terms of fruit.
Okay, method 2.
Method 2 is short maceration, often called saigner, which means to bleed in French.
We touched on this earlier.
Right. Here, you start fermenting red grapes like you're making red wine, but after a short period, could be 2 hours, could be up to 48 hours, you drain or bleed off a portion of the pink juice.
And the rest becomes red wine.
Correct. The juice that's bled off becomes the rosé. Because it had more skin contact, this method usually results in more intense colors. Cherry pink, deep salmon,
And the flavor.
generally more robust, more expressive aromatics, riper red fruits, maybe some spice, earthy notes. These rosés often have a bit more body, maybe even a touch of tannin.
Advantages.
It's sufficient. You get 2 wines, a concentrated red, and a rosé from one batch of grapes. Resource optimization.
Disadvantages.
Sometimes the rosé can feel like the secondary focus, maybe less delicate or refined than a direct press rosé, because the main goal was often to improve the red. But great roses are made this way too. It really depends on the winemaker's intent.
So with these methods, what about blending? Can you just mix red and white wine to make rosé?
Good question. Generally, no. For still rosé wines, most appellations, most regions, strictly forbid blending red and white wine. The color has to come from skin contact with red grapes. It's about authenticity.
But I feel like I've heard of blending.
You probably have. There's one very famous exception, champagne. For rosé champagne, it's actually traditional and very common to make it by assemblage blending a small amount of still red wine, usually Pinot Noir or Meunier, into the white base wine before the second fermentation.
Why do they do it differently?
It allows them precise control over the final color and contributes to the complex aromas. It's a key part of their tradition.
Okay, so no red and white blending for still rosé, but can you blend different rosé wines together or different red grapes before making rosé?
Absolutely. Blending different red grape varieties is extremely common. Think of those classic Provence blends, Grenache, Cinsault, Syrah, maybe Mourvèdre. Winemakers do this to combine the best characteristics of each grape, like Grenache for fruit, Cinsault for freshness, Syrah for structure. That's totally allowed and a key part of crafting the final wine.
And once the juice is ready, fermentation. Is it different for rosé?
It's usually quite similar to white wine fermentation. Controlled, cool temperatures, say 12 to 18 degrees Celsius, are really important, often done in stainless steel tanks.
Why, cool.
To preserve those delicate fresh fruit and floral aromas, the volatile compounds that make rosés so appealing. You want to keep everything bright and fresh.
And aging. You mentioned most are drunk young.
Yes, the vast majority. Rosé is mostly about that primary fruit, that vibrant acidity. So usually you drink it within a year or two of the vintage. There are exceptions, like those structured Bando rosés or maybe some top Pinot Noir rosés that can develop for a few years. Sometimes you see Syrah aging, leaving the wine on its spent yeast cells.
What does that do?
It can add a bit of texture, body, and complexity, maybe some subtle notes of biscuit or toasted bread, but it's not the norm for most simple fresh styles. Freshness is usually king.
Okay, let's take a quick trip around the world. Where should we look for classic rosé styles? Provence is obviously ground zero.
Definitely. Provence in France is the global benchmark for that pale, dry, elegant mineral style. Within Provence, you have sub-regions like Côte de Provence, that's the biggest. Bandol, famous for its structured, more veg-based rosés that can age. Côte d'Ivoire is often a bit fresher due to higher altitude. Côte d'Aix-en-Provence, also known for elegance.
What about elsewhere in France? The Loire Valley.
The Loire is incredibly diverse for rosé. You have Rosé d'Anjou, which is often off-dry, fruity with strawberry notes. Cabernet d'Anjou, typically a bit sweeter, riper fruits. But then you also get Sancerre Rosé, made from Pinot Noir, very dry, elegant, minerally, with that lovely cherry and wild strawberry character.
Burgundy. They do Pinot Noir too.
Yep, elegant Pinot Noir rosés again. Very short maceration, pale salmon color, vibrant acidity, subtle fruits, minerality. Marsanne is actually the only village appellation specifically for rosé in Burgundy.
And Champagne, we mentioned the blending, but what are the styles like?
Sparkling rosés, of course. You have Rosé de Seigneur, made using that short maceration method, which tends to be more intensely colored and fruit-forward. And Rosé de Semblage, the blended style, often more common, allows for that fine control, usually very elegant. Both offer complexity, fine bubbles, notes of red fruits, often brioche, and minerality.
Moving to Spain, Rosado.
Spanish Rosado often tends to be a bit more robust, deeper in color, more intense fruit than Provence. Navarra is classic, often Garnacha-based, lots of strawberry and cherry. Rioja uses Tempranillo and Garnacha, can have that touch of oak and structure we mentioned. Even Priorat makes some intense, mineral, full-bodied rosados.
Italy, Rosato.
Hugely diverse. Abruzzo has its Syrah, intense cherry color, often full-bodied, made from Sangiovese. Puglia, down south, makes deeper colored rosados from Negromaro, ripe fruits, herbal notes. Piemonte can make very pale, delicate rosados, sometimes from Nebbiolo. Veneto has Bardolino Chiaretto, known for being light and fresh. Very authentic and diverse styles there, too. Vinho Verde Rosé can be light, slightly spritzy, fresh red fruits. The Douro makes more structured rosés, often using Touriga Nacional, showing spice. Alentejo tends to be fruitier and fresh. Burrata, using the Baga grape, gives rosés with fantastic acidity.
And the New World, Australia, US, Chile, Argentina, South Africa.
It's exploded. There's a huge emphasis on freshness, dry styles, lots of experimentation. You find beautiful Pinot Noir rosés from places like Oregon or New Zealand. Grenache is popular in Australia and California. Syrah Shiraz makes more robust styles. Malbec from Argentina gives fruity, intensely colored rosés. Cabernet Sauvignon adds structure. Really, they're making rosé from everything, everywhere now, often with fantastic quality.
Wow, okay. That's a lot of ground covered. Let's switch gears slightly. We've just toured the world of rosé, seeing its incredible diversity. But how can we, as listeners, truly train our palates and minds to appreciate all these nuances in our own glass?
That's a great question. It really starts with paying attention during the sensory experience. Let's break it down first. Color.
What can the color tell us?
Quite a lot, actually. Those really pale onion skin or salmon tones usually signal that elegant, delicate style with minimal skin contact, think Provence.
Okay.
Peach, or a light pink, might suggest something still light and fresh, but maybe with slightly more skin contact, or from a grape with a bit more pigment.
What about darker pinks?
If you see raspberry or cherry pink, that often indicates more extraction. It could be from the Sainet method or just from grapes that naturally have more color.
And really deep pinks.
Intense pink or fuchsia usually points to a more robust rosé, maybe with longer skin contact or made from very deeply pigmented grapes. Think some Spanish rosados or Italian Syrah.
Got it. After color, aromas.
Yes, aroma. Swirl the glass gently, take a sniff. What do you smell? Look for categories.
Like
Red fruits are key. Is it fresh strawberry, raspberry, cherry, red currant? Or are the fruits riper, maybe more like compote or jam? Citrus is important for freshness. Lemon, grapefruit, orange peel. Flowers, rose, orange blossom, hibiscus. These add elegance, definitely. Especially in Mediterranean styles time. Rosemary, lavender. Sometimes a green note like tomato leaf, particularly with grapes like Cabernet Franc or Sangiovese.
anything else?
You might find stone fruits like peach or apricot. Watermelon is a common note. Minerality like wet stone or chalk. And sometimes if it had that Syrah aging subtle yeast notes like toast or biscuit.
Okay, color, aroma, then
Right.
taste.
Right, taste. Take a sip. What hits you first? Acidity is the backbone. Does it feel lively, crisp, mouth-watering? That provides freshness and a clean finish.
Freshness itself.
Yeah, just that overall sense of clean lightness. It's crucial for drinkability. Then think about body. Does it feel light, medium, or fuller in your mouth? That's influenced by the grape, the alcohol, the winemaking.
And how long the flavor lasts.
Exactly. Persistence. Do the flavors linger nicely after you swallow? That's usually a sign of quality. And finally, sweetness. Most rosés today are dry, but notice if there's any hint of sweetness. Off-dry or demi-sec styles exist too.
That's a great framework. What about things going wrong? Any common flaws we should be aware of?
Yeah, it's good to recognize defects. Oxidation is a big one. The color might look dull, brownish, or orangey. Aromas turn towards bruised apple, nuts, maybe vinegar, just tastes flat.
What causes that?
Too much exposure to air, usually. The opposite is reduction. That's a lack of oxygen during winemaking or aging. It can give unpleasant smells, rotten eggs, burnt rubber, garlic, sulfur. Sometimes swirling the glass vigorously can help blow it off, but not always.
The dreaded cork taint.
Yes, bouchonné or TCA, that unmistakable smell of damp basement, wet cardboard, mustiness. If you get that, the wine is unfortunately ruined, nothing you can do.
Any others?
Occasionally, you might get refermentation in the bottle. The wine might look a bit cloudy, have some unwanted fizz, and taste slightly yeasty or overly acidic. Usually means it wasn't properly stabilized before bottling.
Understanding all that really deepens the appreciation. So, as someone looking to truly savor rosé, what are your essential tips for tasting and enjoying it to the fullest? Practical advice.
Okay, top tips. Number one, absolutely crucial, serving temperature.
How cold should it be?
Serve it well chilled. The ideal range is generally 8 to 12 degrees Celsius. That's about 46 to 54 Fahrenheit.
Does it vary within that range?
Yes. For lighter, simpler, fruitier rosés, aim for the cooler end, maybe 8 to 10 Celsius. For more complex, structured, or aromatic rosés, maybe 10 to 12 Celsius allows a bit more character to come through without it getting warm. Too warm, it tastes flabby. Too cold, you kill the aromas.
Makes sense. What about the glass? Does it matter?
It does help. The ideal glass is generally a medium-sized white wine glass. Not too big, not too small. The shape helps concentrate those delicate aromas towards your nose and allows enough surface area for a gentle swirl.
Okay. And when should we drink it?
This is important. Consumption young. Most rosés are absolutely intended to be enjoyed fresh. Drink the current vintage or maybe the previous years. They're made to showcase that vibrant fruit and acidity.
So don't cellar most rosés.
Generally, no. While those rare exceptions like Bandol exist, the vast majority don't improve with age. Enjoy them while they're young and lively. That's their charm.
Right. With all that knowledge, it's clear that rosé has an unparalleled versatility, positioning it as a true wild card on the table, expertly bridging the gap between white and red wines. It really seems like you can go with almost anything.
It really is incredibly versatile. Let's talk pairings, because this is where rosé shines. For light dishes, it's a natural fit. Think salads, a dry rosé cuts through creamy dressings, pairs with goat cheese, melon, grilled chicken.
Seafood.
Perfect. Its minerality often complements the saltiness of seafood. Oysters, grilled shrimp, simple white fish, ceviche, even sushi rosé works beautifully. And poultry too, roasted chicken with herbs, turkey salad, even lighter duck dishes. It has enough fruit but doesn't overpower.
What about specific types of cuisine?
Oh yeah, Mediterranean food is a classic match. Olive oil, tomatoes, herbs, olives, think Greek salad, bruschetta, light pasta, salade niçoise, ratatouille. Rosé feels right at home.
Asian food can be tricky to pair.
Rosé often works brilliantly, especially with Thai, Vietnamese, or some Chinese dishes. Its acidity cleanses the palate, handles a bit of spice, and complements those sweet, sour flavors. Think pad Thai, summer rolls, light curries.
Mexican.
Definitely. The vivacity and citrus notes in many rosés are great with Mexican food. Fish tacos, quesadillas, guacamole, dishes with lime and cilantro.
Okay, here's a surprising one you mentioned. Rosé and BBQ. Really?
Yes, especially the more structured rosés may be made from Syrah, Tempranillo, or Mourvedre. Their body and fruit can stand up to smoky flavors. It's great at cutting through the richness of grilled sausages, pork skewers, even ribs or leaner grilled meats. Don't knock it till you try it.
I won't. What about desserts? Is that pushing it?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
You need the right style. A sweeter rosé, like an off-dry rosé d'Anjou or maybe the late harvest style, can be lovely with red fruit desserts, strawberry tarts, fruit salads. Some even pair surprisingly well with blue cheese or foie gras, offering a fruity counterpoint.
It's remarkable how much rosé's image has shifted globally. What do you think were the most powerful forces behind that transformation, moving it so far beyond its seasonal stereotype? It feels like it happened quite quickly.
It did feel quick, but it was building. Several things came together. First, just basic consumption trends. There's been a huge global shift towards wanting lighter, fresher, maybe lower alcohol wines in general, and dry rosé fits that perfectly.
Yeah.
The growth has been exponential.
And the image change?
Marketing and image played a massive role. Think about it.
Yeah.
Those clear bottles showing off the pretty pink color, the association with aspirational lifestyles, sunny destinations, yachts, parties.
The hashtag Rosolde effect.
Exactly. Celebrities launching their own rosés, influencers posting pictures. It became a lifestyle symbol, moving beyond just a wine choice. And luxury brands emerged too, pushing the price point and perception upwards.
But with all that demand, is there a risk to quality?
That's definitely one of the challenges for producers. How do you maintain quality and authenticity when demand is soaring? There's pressure to produce large volumes, which can lead to compromises. So the good producers are really focusing on terroir, on the right grapes, on careful winemaking to ensure they're making genuine, quality rosé, not just pink plonk.
Is there much innovation happening?
Loads. That's another driver. We're seeing innovation everywhere. New regions trying rosé, experimenting with different grapes, a big push towards sustainability, organic, biodynamic rosés, more interest in those structured, food-friendly rosés, even things like quality canned rosé or rosé in kegs.
So it really has broken out of the summer box.
Completely. It's proven itself as an all-season wine. Yes, it's great in summer as an aperitif, but its food pairing versatility makes it perfect year-round. It works with lighter autumn dishes, spring meals, and can even provide a refreshing contrast to richer winter foods, like roast poultry or spicy Asian cuisines. It's truly shed that old stereotype.
So it's clearer than ever that rosé is far more than just a simple summer drink. It's a serious, complex, and multifaceted wine with an incredible story and a really bright future, it seems.
Absolutely. I think the main takeaway is that rosé deserves our attention. The next time you pick up a bottle, maybe think about the journey it represents from ancient origins, through periods of being overlooked, to this incredible modern resurgence driven by quality and intention.
Yeah.
So my challenge to you, the listener, is to explore. Try rosés from different places, made from different grapes. Try the pale ones, try the darker ones. Pair them with different foods, not just in summer, but all year round. You might be surprised at the depth and variety you find. It's a category that's constantly evolving and offering something new.